All right, so we move on to the semifinals. Wednesday, May 15th. We got Chivas at home. America coming in. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not doing so hot in this thing, man. America let me down in both games. And so far in these playoffs, Chivas has been better to me. But aside from me being a little bit biased on that, well, you guys could argue Chivas is playing better in these playoffs than America is. America is honestly lucky to be in this semifinal spot. Chivas at least won their game. They didn't have to depend on their position on the table, on the standings, to get into this next round. Chivas won at home, and then they tied Toluca in the second leg and pass on through with the aggregate score being 1-0. Chivas wins 1-0, and they move on. They got into this round more legitimately than I think that America did. America's just lucky that they did a lot of good work in before this preseason or post season. So before the playoffs, they had an amazing run, first in the table. So that's the reason that they managed to pass on. They tied Pachuca in the first game in Pachuca. They arguably should have lost that game. I was watching that game, or if you guys want to go ahead, take a look back. Those first 30 minutes, they looked sloppy. They were suffering against Pachuca. Pachuca damn near could have scored 3 in those first 30 minutes of that Pachuca game. In the second game, they didn't look so good either, and that's them at home in the Azteca. Didn't look so good. They were damn near being eliminated. They were trailing. They were basically behind the whole time. They were behind Pachuca the whole time in both games. So I'm not liking how they're looking. That's probably why they're not a heavy favorite all season. We've seen them be a heavy favorite, and here they're at plus 140. I don't like it. I don't like it. These lines right away tell me that even the books are not confident in America's ability to win. So we're probably going to see a very tight, a very defensive game. The total kind of reflects that. We got under 2.5 juiced at minus 150. So it looks like this game is either going to be 0-0 or someone's taking it 1-0. I'd rather be on the bigger end of that. So I think Chivas on the money line. I forgot to put up Chivas draw no bet. I think that one's at maybe around plus 100. So if you want a little bit of insurance but still want a little bit of plus money, then I would say take Chivas draw no bet. I forgot to put that up. I think I'm going to also add that to it. But I do think Chivas has better momentum. They looked really sharp against Toluca at home. It was a constant back and forth game, very good game. They're arguably looking a lot better in these playoffs than America is. So I'm going to be on the Chivas side. I'm going to take Chivas on the money line, put half of my bet on that money line, and then another half on that draw no bet. So I still have a little bit of change to bet into the next game. So I'm going to be on the Chivas side of things for Wednesday. I think at home they're gonna do something good. They need that lead going into the Azteca. This is where they gotta take advantage, especially coming off of an America that's not playing as dominant as they were before the playoffs started. So Chivas, I think Chivas is the side to be on. If you guys want to argue that, go ahead, argue that in the comments. Let me know if you see something else that I don't see.